This is the P.L.U.R Podcast, Episode 11. What's up, GMP gang? It's your girl, Give Me P.L.U.R, and coming up on this episode, we discuss how the EDM community can act as therapy and a successful support system for those who have lost loved ones. With special guest, Chantel King. All that and more on the way.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the P.L.U.R Podcast. Today is going to be a awesome episode. This is going to be Raves Hill number 2. Before I had my boy Justin Evangelista on for the first Raves Hill segment. We were talking about veterans and their depression. This episode is going to be a little bit different. Just to give you guys a heads up on what this segment is about. The segment is dedicated to everyday ravers like yourself, who I give the opportunity to come on here and share your personal stories on how raves and the EDM community have saved your life or positively impacted or influenced you away from a destructive path. So this is going to be, I think this is going to be a really good segment for those of you out there who just want to understand what the rave like really does for us, besides just the fun experience of just going to a rave. It's a lot more than just the music. And today we have a beautiful woman named Chantel King. Is that your last name?
Yep.
We got Chantel here today, and I just am so grateful that you came, because you emailed me and you gave me your wonderful, deep, and personal story, and I thought that it'd be awesome for you to come here and share it with the world, to give people insight and help them through their experiences. So you have the floor. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Chantel. I'm 23 years old, so I'm just like in college right now, just trying to finish that up. This is my last year. Just studying family and individual development, so I like to work with people anyways. I've been raving for like almost 6 years now.
Oh, nice.
So it's been a while.
Well, do you have a rave name?
I don't.
You don't?
I just go by Chantel, Shan, whatever
Okay.
people want to call me, that's fine.
Okay.
No specific rave name, but.
And where can people look you up?
On Instagram, just Chantel Janelle, CHANTEL JANELLE. And I don't really use like Snapchat too much, so just like my Instagram.
Instagram. Okay. What is Janelle? Is that like
That's
your
my middle name.
Middle name. Okay.
Like, yeah, in high school it was like CJ, so Chantel Janelle, and I was just like, I'll just leave it like that on Instagram.
Okay. I think I like Chantel Janelle better, because before it was Chantel King.
Yeah, Chantel Janelle rhymes. It sounds
Yeah.
better. So.
Yeah, I do like that. Okay, so why don't you go ahead and tell us your story and just why you're here, and spill your heart, bitch.
All right. So, I guess I'll start like before. So this is just kind of about my mother. Before all of this happened, she had passed away. So before this, she was my best friend. She was the strongest woman like I knew in my life. She raised us 3 kids without our fathers, and then like with my stepdad. So she's just an amazing woman, and she was 47 years young. So she was really young. She was one of my biggest supporters with raves and all of that stuff. It brought her joy to see me going to stuff like that. I remember it was a few years ago, and I was going to New Year's Eve, like reacting or Skrillex, and everyone was playing. And she literally turned on the TV and like was watching me on the TV and texting me like, I saw you like wherever. I'm like trying to find you in the crowd, and awesome. She would love it. Yeah. So up until about like right before EDC, everything was fine. Like there was nothing wrong with her. Like we didn't even know she was sick or whatever was going on. And I was just like with some of my friends, and we were just hanging out, just like at school. And then I get a phone call, and it was my family telling me like my sister was crying on the phone, and I was like so confused. So I walked out of the room, and she told me that she had died. And like when you hear that initially, that shock, it's just like she didn't say that. Like that's not even what she just said. And you're just like, what? So she had to tell me like multiple times. And I just like broke down, went into the biggest panic attack and like state of shock that I've ever been in my life. And I couldn't even drive out there to go see my family because I was just a mess. So my roommate, love her, thank you, she drove me all the way down to Ottawa to see them and my family. And like everybody was there. And so it was just like really emotional. And, you know, we were just like breaking down and crying. No one knew what happened because like I said, she wasn't sick. Nothing was wrong with her. I had no idea like what it was. And it was just out of nowhere. And my niece was like just the one with her home alone because she was watching her. And so she had to like call the neighbors, and then we all came. So that was, I mean, obviously like that was the hardest thing in my life. It still is the hardest thing in my life. But like I said, EDC was coming up, and it was right after. It was honestly like while we were planning the funeral, like EDC was around the same time that we were trying to plan it.
Right.
So it was like, what do I do? Do I go to EDC? Do I not go to EDC? I was so torn. And I mean, my family knew too what was going on, that I wanted to go. And the way that we planned the funeral was to allow me to still go if I wanted, because she was the one that like bought my plane ticket to go.
Damn.
And so, I mean, I was ready to go, and I really didn't want to, because like I think it was like what people would think of me, like, oh, she's going to a festival right after her mom passes away, like she doesn't care at all. And it's like, I don't know, from an outside perspective, I just didn't want people to see me like that. But then I knew that I was going to go because I knew how much she loved me going. And I think it was because of this one tweet that I have as my pinned tweet because of something that she texted me. I'm going to pull it up so I can read it.
Go ahead.
I'll always send her pictures and stuff whenever I go to Fest, because she likes to see the outfits, videos, whatever.
Yeah.
And she texted me after I sent her some messages and pictures once, and she said, "Oh my gosh, those are so great. Your mind, heart, and spirit all happy together. What an amazing weekend." And I just thought of that when I was thinking about going and how she had bought my ticket and everything. And I was like, you know, I should go.
Yeah.
Like, I should go. She would want me to go. She wouldn't want me to just sit at home. Like, what am I going to do? So, and my whole Rave family that is going, like, they're my biggest supporters with this kind of stuff too. I mean, those are the people that, you know, you get so close to on the deepest levels. So I knew that I would be like safe too if I went, and if I needed to express anything, like it would be totally fine to be able to go. So I decided to go, and it was honestly like the best decision I'd ever made. I had the best experience, and it was my first EDC, so that was sick. But it was awesome, and I don't regret it at all. So we found out later on that this was like a month or so later, because they had to do all kinds of testing and stuff. She had died from Graves' disease, which is an autoimmune disease. It basically just like your body is attacking itself. So she didn't, I mean, there was no like signs or anything like that. What she had described from what the side effects kind of are is like a menopause thing. And like I said, she was 47 when she passed. So it kind of made sense. Like, I think the things that she might have been experiencing might have been from that, but there was like, we had no way of knowing. So, I mean, after all of that come to an end, you know, and we're down the road months and months from now. So things are not better, but you know, they're on track, and they're being like, they feel better than they did when obviously it first happened. So, but that was my experience with EDC, and not knowing if I should go or not because of losing someone. But when you have somebody that sees that how you see it, and they understand how beautiful it is for you and how great of an experience it is, and I couldn't pass it up. So
that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. I think, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I'd do if my mom had passed, especially because I told you, like, me and my mom, that's like our thing. Like, we go together every year, or not, well, not every year, but every year that we do go, it's together. And if my mom had passed right before, I don't know like where my head would be at, but I totally understand the fact that your mom supported you, and she even bought the ticket for you, and it was your first EDC.
Right.
I think that was all the confirmation that you needed to go. When you went to EDC, were there any like experiences, like any specific things that happened during the time that you were there that were like confirmation that you should have came?
Oh, yeah. So her birthday is the 4th of July.
Okay.
And EDC is like a fireworks show every night. So every single time that we would like sit there, like, and they would do like the fireworks show in the middle, like towards the middle end of the night or whatever, they do like those little shows. I was just like, man, like, this is awesome.
Wow.
It just all it did was remind me of her. And I was just like, I'm so happy that I came, because she would have wanted me to see this. She would have been like, it's my birthday.
Right.
So it was good. No, that was like the biggest thing that I was just like, wow. When you walk in there and stuff, and you just like see it all laid out and everything, and it's just like a little town in its own. It's just like you just belong there, and I was just like, yeah, this is where I'm meant to be right now.
That's awesome. And your friends, you said like you went with your Rave fam. Like, who is your Rave fam? Is it like a big group of people? Is it like small?
We're pretty big. Okay. If you guys are listening, we're a big squad, and there's about like when we went there, man, I want to say there was over 10 of us. I want to say, but I mean, they knew the whole situation too, and it's like if it would have been anyone else, if I would have just decided to go with like some people I had met or something like that, not that I wouldn't have felt comfortable, but I just knew like how much support I have from them to be able to go and just have them there with me. Like, if I'm crying in the crowd, like whatever, they're just gonna be there, like letting me do whatever I need to do, give me a hug if I need a hug, and coming back and like spending the downtime with them too. And like if I need to talk about anything, like they're all there for me. So
did you have any of those like times where you had to like take a break and like cry and during the festival? There's always like those one songs that just kind of like hit you, and I think the main time, like when I was actually at the fest, I was trying to just like take it all in and really just like enjoy the experience. So I mean, there was those moments, like some those songs that just like really get you in your feels, and you're just like, dang, like but I mean, it wasn't like a bad thing. It was always like really positive. But then when you get back like to the hotel, I think it was more on my like downtime that I would feel those emotions and everything. And I mean, you just let it out, and that's it. So okay. And did you do camping, or did you do
we stayed in a hotel.
Okay.
So we just like took the shuttles out there.
Okay, that's what's up. Was your Rave fam, was that their first time too, or did some of them like already go?
A couple of them, yeah, but most of us, it was our first time, so that was pretty cool. I mean, it was cool to have some that had gone, some that hadn't. Okay. So that was really, that was good. So it was like some of us bringing other people, well, not me, but like the other ones, bringing them into the new atmosphere and whatever, and it was our first time, so it was cool.
That's what's up.
That was good.
Now, in the email you had mentioned, you said that so many people use music as a therapy. So what are some EDM songs that you listen to that act as like your therapy? And do you have like a favorite genre?
I love dubstep.
Yeah, I saw your Lost Land pictures.
But I also, I love house. I love like funk. I love all genres really, but I mean, house and dubstep probably like my favorite. And my like Rave fam, we're love dubstep. So when we were at Lost Lands this year, there's one song by Excision, Home.
I know that song.
Yeah. And it's on, so I have this playlist actually for my mom, and I made it like right after she passed. And it was just like, anytime I was listening to a song or her favorite kind of songs that would come on or whatever, I would just put them on that playlist. And that was one song that was on that playlist. And I just remember when we were in the crowd at Lost Lands, it had played, and I mean, I wasn't even expecting it to play at that time, and then it hit me like a wall, and it was just like this overload of like emotion. I just started crying.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a sad type of cry. It was just kind of like a release, and I was like, that felt really good. And that song gets me, like, I don't know, it's such a beautiful song. But I mean, there's a couple other ones like that just like give me my feels about stuff too, like Superhuman.
Yep.
And all that stuff. And that played in the rain at Lost Lands, and that was like,
wow,
oh my gosh, that was crazy. I think a lot of people would probably agree, like Collapse, Zed's Dead.
Mm-hmm.
That's
yes, I love
that
Zed's
song.
Dead.
It's oh my God, forever a favorite. Like, it'll always be a favorite. A lot of Avicii, like Heaven and stuff. Like, Avicii has some nice, really good songs that just like put you in that headspace of like just enjoying loving life and the ones around you. So those are probably like some of the top songs for.
That's what's up. And I love that you shared your songs, because like, especially like within this community, music is the main, like that is what we all have in common. We come there for the music, and I think music is therapy. Like,
yeah, 100%.
It's therapeutic, just period. Like, any kind of music can be therapeutic. But within this community, I think it's even more special because there is a ritual behind it. It's not just, listening to it on your own. It's like you get ready for an event, like you transform into your alter ego.
I listened to your the one on spirituality, your podcast, and I've never related to something more. Because I'm not very like religious, like church wise and everything like that. Either. Yeah, so I listened to that and I was like, wow. Yeah, I was like, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. Like, but it made so much sense because like we're not like just going there because we want to just get crazy. It's like, it's the, like you said, the whole experience and like the whole mind, body, spirit, like my mom said, like all of that all together. So
that's what's up. Did she ever go to any of your events?
She never came with me, but I would have taken her to something because I think she would listen to like certain songs and stuff and be like, why are you listening to this? Like, I didn't even know you like this kind of stuff. But nice. Yeah, I think she would have liked to go to something chill outside. She loved being outside and she loved music, so it would have been cool to take her.
What was her favorite type of music to listen to?
I mean, she was like a Bob Marley kind of person. Yep. She liked like bands too. Like she liked Led Zeppelin and all that kind of stuff. So, but I know she would have, she was into everything, like Rihanna, like for sure. You name it. I mean, she loved music too. So.
What festival would you have taken her to?
Oh man.
The first one.
No. Because I wouldn't want her to take, like, I wouldn't take her to anything, like, insane. That she would just be, like Lost Lands, probably not. Right. But, I mean, maybe, like, a North Coast type of vibe. Okay. Something chill where, like, we could just, like, hang out and just enjoy the time and, like, the environment. She would probably.
Do you think she would have dressed up?
I would have dressed her up.
Okay.
I would always dress her up. She would always ask me what to wear and stuff.
That's what's up.
She hated picking out clothes, but, yeah, we would have. Maybe some matching outfits, something cute.
Yeah, that's one thing that I enjoy with my mom. Like, I don't dress her up though, because she's very creative. So she picks out her own stuff, but she actually like does my hair and makeup at the festivals. But I enjoy having her there with me and seeing her like be like a kid at the rave and just like, trading candy with people and stuff. Do you think that she would have been like into like trading candy, or did you ever like talk to her about?
I think so, just because like she was such a people person. Like she's the type of person where you go to the like Walmart or something and she's talking to the cashier for like 25 minutes about whatever.
That's my dad.
Yeah, she would have loved to like meet people, and I think it's like a cool way that, I don't know, you don't really, it's kind of weird like on the outside where like, why are you trading candy and like doing this weird handshake? But like once she was like in the environment, I'm sure she would have. Is your mom like, 'cause she trades and stuff, what does she think of it? Or
yeah, she makes her own candy. Yeah. She's just like Mama Rava. She does her own little thing. And I enjoy that because it's not forced. she just actually enjoys it.
Yeah.
She always tells me that, like, when I go to my event, she's like, "We'll take lots of videos. Like, I'm gonna live through you while you go." Like, I really enjoy the fact that she enjoys it, and that's cool. That's cool that your mom was into the music, and um, I I really feel like it's important to share the raver lifestyle with our family. Some people I've noticed that some people have to keep that from their parents.
Yeah, it's like a second little life.
Yeah, and I think that that's unfortunate because it's not a bad thing.
Right.
It's not a bad thing. People, that stigma that we have, that
it
it's
can
a
be
drug
looked at
culture.
some taboo type of I don't know, but I think you should be able to, just because it's not just about the drugs and whatever. It's the whole feeling that you get from listening to a song and how it brings a whole community together. It's just awesome and should be shared.
Hell yeah. I don't know. I think, I think my mom and my dad always knew that I was going to festivals and stuff, because I used to post it on Facebook when I first started raving back in 2013. I had posted a video of me at a rave, and my family, they liked it. Some people would hit me up and be like, "Are you taking drugs?" And I'm just like, "Mind your motherfucking business." But my parents, though, they were always really chill about it. They waited for me to come to them and tell them that I was doing drugs, and what I later found out, though, it's this year actually, my father went to raves. My mom never did. I think that's why she's so into it right now, because like I told you before, she had kids younger. So she kind of missed out on her youth a little bit. So that's why I enjoy taking her with me. But my father, he went to raves growing up, and that was big house head. Both my parents are, but my dad had that experience. So to be able to talk to my father, to get advice, and to just get a blast from the past, I think that's what I appreciate about being able to be open with my family about my rave life that I have. Yeah, I think that's really special that you were able to have that connection with your mom. So now, you stated in the email that you also had some struggles with mental health issues, like anxiety and depression. So what are some positive and effective ways that you cope with your mental health issues?
Right. So my anxiety, that's probably the one thing that I've people actually know about. I don't really talk about being depressed that much.
Right.
Just because I didn't even have a huge spell of depression until after my mom passed, and it wasn't right after. I think honestly EDC was an amazing experience to get me through a while, and then when school hit and I just had all this overloaded stuff, I just really sunk into a deep depression. And I just think, for one, you have to have that support. So like I said, I had my rave family, I have my regular family, I have all of my friends that are ravers, non-ravers, whoever.
Right.
And your support system sometimes it's everything if you don't have anything else.
Yeah.
And for me, I always try to not get into habits that I'm doing to cope, negative habits. I want to try to do positive things, like going to the gym, or eating healthy, or cooking a whole dinner or something, instead of wanting to go drink or do something like that to get my mind off of it. I think just having those positive outlets instead of negative ones are just really, really good ways to cope.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to interject and say thank you guys so much for listening and all your support, your feedback, your reposting on Instagram stories, Twitter. I really, really appreciate it. If you guys didn't already know, we were featured on a blog called Podraland. That's PODDRALAND. And it is a blog by this woman named Alexandra from New York, and she is super awesome. She features women-led podcasts that haven't been around more than a year. On her blog post in the section called pod.radar. So if you guys go to her website and then click the section pod.radar, you will find the PLUR podcast there, featured with two other lovely ladies. She features three podcasts every month, and we were featured for the month of December. So make sure you guys give us a look, and make sure you look at the other podcasts. She has a very eclectic library of different podcasts that you guys should check out. I've checked out a few, and they're really, really good. Moving on, make sure you guys give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. You can either do that on the app or the iTunes store. It was really appreciated because it will give our podcast more exposure, and it'll bump us up on the featured list, and make it more visible for other people to be able to receive the message. And the last thing I wanted to mention is that we do have some merch coming soon, so you guys can definitely rep the P.L.U.R podcast or Give Me P.L.U.R, or both, whatever you like to do. It'll be on shopgivemeplur.com, and the links are on givemeplur.com right now. The Shopify store is still being made. Products are still being in the infancy of the design stage, but everything will be done next year, hopefully within the next couple months. I don't want to say what day. I don't want to, make any promises I can't keep, but super excited for that. Super excited for you guys to rep the P.L.U.R podcast. Really appreciate your support. Again, thank you guys so much. And now back to the show.
Yeah, so me personally, like what I do for my mental health issues, because I have a lot of them, I definitely try to stay around like family, and I try to put myself in like my work, like creating content. And before, like, I definitely abused drugs, and I love drugs and I love alcohol. It's a part, I think it's just a part of like the American culture, and just like, it can be fun. It could lower your inhibitions so that you can get to know people. It can open your mind to different like ideas, but definitely taking a break on that helped me. And that, I don't know, I'm right now being sober, like I'm trying to figure out some like new, like different things to do. Like we were talking before, probably going to like a pole dancing class. Like,
yeah,
I think that would be like super fun. Do you I know you also said that you want to do the what is that thing
just
called?
started like the glow whip,
The
like
glow
just
whip.
started doing, and it's really fun. I mean, like, just like I was saying, I like, I'm always dancing in the crowd and stuff, and so when you're just like, I don't know, you put that in your hand with it, and it's just like, it's so much fun.
And you said you didn't like the hoop, like you.
No, I can't.
get it.
I just can't. I'm not good at it, so I couldn't stick with it. But
Okay, so now the whip.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I can't think of. I want to call it something else besides a whip, but I'm not gonna say what I want to call it. But the whip, like, what do you think that would help you as far as with your like anxiety, like practicing that on your own?
Yeah, just because then you're not like consumed with your own thoughts. You're thinking about like what your body's doing, how you're moving with the music or whatever, and you're not like clouded by all this other stuff. I just think it like brings down like all of these like not even walls, but just like barriers that like your mind is stuck on. It just opens you up to just like do whatever, feel whatever, like flow wherever, like that kind of stuff. So I think it really helps a lot with that kind of outlet.
Okay. And now you said that hold on, I'm reading my notes. Now with the raving and the EDM community, like specifically, like how do they help you, or how does the rave help you with your anxiety and depression?
Like I said, like just like you don't have all of these clouded thoughts. Like you're not thinking like about like whatever is like making you nervous or anxious, or whatever's making you sad or depressed or feel lonely, because you're surrounded by, for one, all of these people that all they want to do is like show love. And I mean, that's the biggest thing, like having that positive energy is just like amazing to be around. So I think that's like one of the biggest things, is just like the environment of the whole situation. It's not like, it's the music too, but it's just like the actual environment that you're in the whole time, and it's just always positive.
For sure. And it's crazy because some people don't get that. The people who are like outside looking in, people who don't even listen to house music or anything, like I try to explain to them like what it means to me and how it helps me. and they just don't get it.
Yeah.
Like
it's like it makes no sense.
Right. And sometimes like I don't even want to invite people in, and not to be selfish, but I think that it's better if somebody naturally wants to go on their own and makes the effort.
I agree.
Because I've found myself trying to like force my friends to come, like, come on, like, you're going to enjoy it. Even though I know they would. Right. It's like, it takes the fun out of it for me to have to,
it's like the whole mindset of it. Like, if you're going to go in thinking, like, I'm not going to like this, I don't like this, I don't even want to try to like this, how are you going to go to a show or a fest or anything and like it then? Yeah. If you have that whole blockage and you're not even allowing yourself to like open up and want to like see what it's all about anyways.
Yeah, I invited this one girl to go back in the day. I invited her to come with me because she just like she was like an acquaintance, but she was really nice. And she asked to come to a rave with me, and I invited her out. It was me and a few friends, and she was not into it. She got dressed up, she looked beautiful, and we went, and she was kind of annoying me. Like she was like wanted to like be next to me the entire time, asking me questions, and I just was like, you know what, like I'm just gonna keep this to myself. Like if somebody, I'm only gonna do it if people like really really want to, and who are really interested, and who aren't just like, you know, just curious. Right. Like if you're curious, you just gonna have to do it by yourself, because this is like my peace of mind. This is my therapy. Yeah. This makes me sane. So like I need that at all times. But yeah, you also had a birthday in September, right?
It was during Lost Land.
That's right.
Yeah, it usually falls on my birthday, so
that's cool. Awesome. So do you go every year, like for your birthday? It's
only been, I think, 4 or 3 years, so I've been every year, yeah. And then the first year and this year it was on my birthday. So the first year was my 21st and this one was 23.
Oh my God, that's fucking awesome.
So it was dope, yeah.
I have a friend, her name is Caroline. Shout out to Caroline. Her Instagram is Your Favorite Rave Babe, and her birthday falls on Ultra.
Oh, that's
her
awesome.
21st birthday fell on Ultra, and she had a fucking ball.
It's the best birthday. Like that's, you don't even need to ask for anything. You just go, and that's
on your
whole
21st
birthday.
Too. Yeah. So for me, I'm trying to figure out like what's gonna be my birthday rave, and I think it's gonna be Afro Punk Fest.
That would be cool.
Because they have, this year it fell on my birthday in Atlanta. So I'm hoping next year it does too. So I can go check it out.
Definitely. It's the best way to spend a birthday.
That's what I'm saying. It's all about me, because that's what I feel. I feel like the whole event is just
it's my whole environment. It's literally, it's everything you want.
So this year when you went to Lost Lands, did you have like any favorite sets on the day of your birthday? Like,
I mean, the whole weekend. I just feel like the whole weekend is like my little celebration. So I mean, like I said, like Slanders, like In the Rain, Slander back-to-back Spaghetti, that was like the most beautiful experience like ever. And it was pouring and people were just like crying. Like it was just so good. Like that was one of the best sets. But there's so many. Like I couldn't even tell you like just one, because they were all just so good.
That's what's up. But for me, I don't, like, I usually when I go to like festivals and stuff, like I don't be paying attention to who's playing. I know that's like bad as a raver.
I think I do that too, because sometimes I'll like try to think back to a certain fest and I'm like, wait, who even was that during that time? But I just know how I was feeling during that time. Like
that's all that matters at the end of the day. But I want to like start being more like present and figuring out like who's playing and, you know, what song it was. Right. I'm going to start like looking to like picking which sets I want to go see. That's something I want to try to step up my game as like a raver, try to be more present and mindful, because I don't have like a favorite DJ, and I feel like I should have at least one. I mean, I do, like, I love Benny Benassi, I love Zed's Dead, I love Anger Fist. I have seen him live at EDC, but like I don't have anybody who is just like, that's my motherfucking you know what I'm saying? I want that.
Yeah,
I
those
want
people that you're obsessed with.
Do you have?
I just have I have like multiple favorites. I don't have like just like one person that I'm like in love with, but I love like a bunch of people. So
Okay,
and it's like all across the board. Like
that's what's up. So for the last question that I do have for you, do you have any advice for other ravers that have lost a parent or lost a loved one that you could give to them?
Well, I mean, first of all, it's no one else that like has gone through something like that is gonna understand, which kind of sucks, but you just have to, whatever someone is trying to like be there for you, or whenever they're trying to give you, you know, that little shoulder to cry on or whatever, just like accept that and just take it in, because even though they don't know exactly what you're going through, they're just trying to be there for you. And you should just like really allow them to do that, because it's gonna help you like in the long run. And it's just like about taking it like just day by day. Like even though some people may not understand, and you just like it's consuming your mind, and every little tiny thing, like the littlest tiny things will just like remind me of her, and I just like want to cry. But lately how I've been thinking about it is those little tiny things, like they shouldn't be like negative little reminders. Like I have changed it to being like very, very positive things. So every single time I'm like, wow, I'm so happy like that happened, because it's like reminding me of them, and it's just a way to keep them alive for you. And I think that's the best way to do it, just keeping all those moments as positives and remembering them, so like they can just keep living on through like your world with those little moments.
That's awesome. That's some really good advice. I don't know, like I told you before, like I don't know what I would do if my mom had passed, especially my mom, because me and her are really close, like you and your mom were close. I don't know like how I'd be able to cope. I think that you're so strong, and I really appreciate you coming on here and sharing your story. And I am so like impressed by you. Like you're super young, you're in college, you're going to school to be in the healthcare profession, right?
More like family and social sciences. So like kind of like social work, counseling is where my aim is going for. So that's working with people, yeah.
You know, a lot of my friends who are in the scene are trying to do that, like be in the healthcare profession. I think that that's like a thing. Like I really love self-help and like motivational
just
stuff.
All a bunch of people.
Just
like
people care. Yeah. Awesome. Like I really think that that's awesome.
Yeah.
And you're beautiful, and you have your whole life ahead of you. And I'm so glad that the rave and the EDM community can help you through like, you know, your problems and through the obstacles that you have to go through in life. Like it's amazing.
Thank you for having me though. I really appreciate it, because like for one, this is like a really great outlet for me, and two, like whoever's listening to this that has like gone through similar things, like I just hope like it helps them a little bit as well. So
it will. I can most definitely guarantee that. I appreciate you, girl. So that's all we got for you guys today. If you all want to be a part of this segment, if you guys have a story to share, make sure you email me at plurpodcast@givemepl.com. If you need to reach me, you can hit me up at GiveMePl on all social medias, or you could just go to my website at GiveMePl.com. And Chantel, go ahead and tell them your Instagram name.
Just Chantel Janelle, ChantelJanelle. And that's it.
Awesome. All right, guys. See you guys in the next one. Peace, love, unity, respect. Give Me P.L.U.R. out.